If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the Project Me with Tiffany Carter podcast, the place to come to heal your money wounds, to attract and generate the cash that you desire, doing what you love so you no longer have to depend on any person, place, thing, or institution ever again to bring in that bankroll so you can do whatever the hell you want with it and have an option-filled life instead of living a life where you're trapped under whatever it is you're earning. That is truly the bottom line passion for this show, for my business coaching brand, in working with all of you in my various programs, in the Posse membership, which, by the way, if you're not in the Posse membership, why? There is nothing else like there in the business consulting or coaching space. You get almost weekly live trainings from me and other special guest experts teaching you how to go even from scratch to your first $10,000 month and beyond. If you're regularly making, I would say, $15,000 passively online a month, I would say then that's not where you need to be with me. But if you are not consistently making $10,000 to $15,000 a month passively or making it online, you've got to be in there. And I have a Virgo special secret sale going on for the Posse right now. You get $50 off your first month. So that's over 30% off. So you get $50 off your first month using the code SECRET50. Plus, you're getting an exclusive bonus that's worth $297 of my content creation made easy course, my fill-in-the-blank profitable caption template, and so much more simply for joining. It's month to month. You can cancel at any time. You're not going to want to, but I don't require any long-term contract because I want people who are in there to want to be in there. So you show up for the lives, you're accountable, you have access to me and the guests for questions, you collaborate with the other Posse members, go on each other's podcasts, get in front of each other's audiences, have lifelong friendships. People talk about how it's the best kept secret that there is, which means I don't talk about it enough. So you can swipe up. The link to get into the Posse membership is in my show notes, or go to projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectMe Posse. And again, use the code SECRET50 at checkout. I thought we could all use a laugh, and I get a lot of wild shit sent to me. I get shit sent to me in the mail, email, DMs, you name it, crazy stuff. And some of the stuff is like pedestrian crazy, like basic crazy. So it's like not worth sharing with you guys. But when I get one that's an outlier that is damn near wild, I have to share it because we all could use a laugh right now. We all could use that. Okay. The subject line of this email is ASMR video. So if you're not familiar with ASMR, it's those videos of people eating cereal, putting together Legos. It's like a soothing kind of a sound effect type video. And I was like, okay, it made me open the email. And I don't even check my email. It's what I have Nancy for, but I was intrigued. Hi, Tiffany. I discovered you on Instagram and was wondering if you would have any interest in doing an ASMR video. This sounds odd, but you would just have to film yourself crushing a large pile of grapes with your bare feet for 10 plus minutes. You would not have to reveal your identity in the video, and the video would not be shared or published. Next paragraph. I usually offer $100 for the video and $40 for the grapes, with potential for more future videos with different fruits and vegetables. Let me know if you're interested. And then it's signed. I took a screenshot of it. Paul Degner. Paul, I appreciate that you are allowing a stipend for the grapes. That must mean you want a lot of grapes. $40 for the grapes. Yeah. And it wouldn't be shared or published. So apparently this would be for Paul. And Paul seems to be into my feed. So for those of you who were like, I want to be making passive income online, and I don't know what it is that I could offer online, or would people really buy from me? Let me tell you something. People buy anything and everything online to the tune of millions, even billions of dollars, including ASMR videos of you crushing grapes with your feet. I'm just curious. Would you do it? Would you be like, you know what? I can do that. I'm not showing my face. I get a couple grapes out of it. I'm just curious. This episode is about processing your money grief to make room for fresh cash. When we're holding on to old stuff, old wounds, old pain, old anger, old sadness, it could be from stuff from childhood. It could be from stuff from last week. Anything we're holding on to and we're not actively working on releasing will end up controlling us. And it could end up controlling us in ways that are obvious. It can end up controlling us in ways where we're not aware of it. So maybe you've been doing a lot of procrastination lately. Maybe you've been so much in your head that you're mentally exhausted. So then you tell yourself, well, I just don't have it in me to create content right now, and I need a break, and I'm just overwhelmed. Maybe you just feel like you're tired all the time, so it makes it difficult to follow through with your goals. You're exhausted and tired because you're also holding on to something that is burning energy in you in a constant state, really 24 hours a day. And that's this unprocessed grief and wounding around money. And it hurts. It's painful when people you thought were in your corner don't support you or your dreams, or what you're wanting to do with cash. Maybe you really had a dream of using money to go on a certain trip, or wanting to buy a lake cabin, or it could even be that you want a new mattress, or you want to invest in working with me. And the people in your life do not support what you're wanting to do with that money. It's painful when you're told as a kid, you aren't good enough in some type of way, or something that you really desired, or you were told all the time, we can't afford it, we can't afford it. And you're made to feel selfish, wrong, insensitive for even wanting these things. It's painful when no one seems to understand why you don't want to follow the status quo and you want more for your life. And this happened to me. This happened to me when I went to leave corporate and was side hustling. And then I left 6 months later when I was at a point of telling people, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm starting my own thing on the side. And even I told some people before I put in my notice that I knew wouldn't probably say anything because I had some dirt on them too. And when I told them that I was side hustling, I had people literally say, you're crazy, Tiff. Why would you give up this prestigious corporate career you've built? People die to get into the pharmaceutical industry, and you're just going to give it up. What if it doesn't work and you're going to have a gap in your resume? So you would have a really hard time getting back in this industry. Oh my God, I can't believe you're going to do that to take a risk. On and on and on and on. Do you know how hard it is to have your own business? And I wasn't asking their opinion, and they were telling me all of these things. They were genuinely concerned for me. And then behind my back, people were saying shit like, I basically kind of lost it. Like, Tiff's lost it. Can you believe she's going to do this? Because when I was in corporate, like really deep in my workaholism and all that, it became my identity. I was the one who was doing all the medical conferences, working weekends, working nights. I was busting my ass. What's wild is I was busting my ass and making pennies on everything I sold, which were drugs. So per prescription, I was making pennies on this stuff for all of my efforts. And that was one of the things that made me go, wait, this is insane. I'm making these companies tens of millions of dollars and I'm getting a micro fraction of it. Why wouldn't I do that for myself? If you're familiar with me at all through here on the podcast, it may be surprising for you to know that I lived most of my life with zero self-worth, because you're getting this Tiffany now who has a grounded sense of confidence. That doesn't mean I don't have all of my shit. I'm definitely a shit show, but I own that and I accept those parts of myself, even the parts that I don't love or that aren't attractive or aren't super flattering. I accept those parts of myself and I'm able to show up and talk about them. But I had no self-worth most of my life. I thought God forgot about me. And these toxic people, you know, whether it's our parents, whether it's teachers from childhood, it could be a partner, it could be a friend you had, it could be all the fucking above like me. These toxic people tear our beliefs in ourselves to pieces. It's almost for some of you, I know you've had a life like mine where it's kind of like just when you started to put the pieces somewhat back together again, like Humpty Dumpty, then another narcissist or a toxic person comes around or something else happens and it all shatters again. But when we don't put back the pieces again, when we've fallen apart, when we've been broken down, when we've been humiliated, when we've been shamed, when we've just had that self-esteem and our inner fire left out, I guess we could say. When we don't put the pieces back together again, they win. Those people win, whether it's society, whether it's strangers, it's ex-coworkers, it's people in your family. And you may be doubting your ability to do what you want to do or to have what you desire instead of settling for less. And that's completely normal if you've had other people tear you down in life. If you had that as a kid where you would share a dream and people would laugh at you, or you would want to do something and people would say that's impractical. You can't be an artist and make any money. You need to have a real job. You need to have a real career, because they're just projecting their own money wounds and their own inaccurate money beliefs onto you. And we can sit here and point the finger and blame all that. Maybe you went through a divorce and now you're left with not much money or having to rebuild again. Whatever it is, we can sit here and sit in the victimhood of it, or you can start putting those pieces back together again and start processing and working through those wounds. But it's up to you to build yourself back up, to rise, to flourish, to overcome. And let me tell you something, there's nothing more powerful than someone who's risen from the rubble. I really feel I was destined to be where I'm at today, talking to you right now and having this platform in the business that I have to help you make money, doing what you love to do, helping tons and tons of people, paying it forward and not feeling trapped by your life circumstances, your lifestyle, by working for someone else, by being confined, by working a paycheck to paycheck and be limited. I was supposed to be here. Now, I didn't know. I could have never predicted that I was going to be here. But all the shit that's happened in my life led me to be here. But I would not have the success I have today if I didn't do deep work on processing those money wounds, on processing that stuff. And each of ours are so unique. That's why in all of my programs, whether it's my famous 2-month private coaching program, whether it's my mastermind, whether it's in the posse, whether it's any of my group coaching programs, no matter what it is, that's why I always work on unpacking these money wounds and taking the sting off this stuff and looking at things in a different way and shifting those beliefs. Because if we don't put the pieces back together again into our true higher self and our abundant state, you're going to continue to repel the exact things you want, and it'll happen for the rest of your life. And I know many of you have watched parents, grandparents, siblings, uncles, friends. You've watched people literally die knowing they didn't really go after what they wanted. They settled for less their entire lives. They thought it was noble to do that, to sacrifice for their children and for their spouse and to never show up for themselves. They thought it was noble to work that much and provide and never leave any room for passion projects or creativity or just to even explore and experiment and take risk on doing some things. You don't need to live that way. It's a choice. And when you're someone who's put the pieces back together again, that doesn't mean you're perfect. I'm far from perfect, far from it, which is why I think part of why you enjoy listening to me, because I keep it real. I don't sit here and proclaim that it's all rosy and sunny all the time over here. I'm no different than you. The only difference is that I have put the pieces back together again. I continue to do that work every single day, and I choose to rise, to flourish, to overcome, and I show up and take the risk and do the damn thing over and over again. I'm terrified most of the time. And if I'm not kind of terrified, like a healthy terrified, that means that I am not stretching. That means I'm not growing. That means I'm not taking a risk. And you're not going to have that abundance, that love, those friendships, that lifestyle that you're wanting without taking a risk. You're just not. You can't play it safe and then also get the shit that you want for yourself. And you're trying to have it both ways, and that's nice, but it's also slowly killing you, sucking your energy, your soul. You don't feel fulfilled. You feel like you're on the hamster wheel, and it's clearly not working. So you've got to get to that point where you say, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to rise. I'm going to come up from the rubble. I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to rebuild myself into a completely new version of myself. And you get to make that choice at any hour of any day. You don't need to wait until New Year's to do something like that. You don't have to wait till your birthday. You don't have to wait until after the holidays. You can do it right now. You don't have to rebuild alone. And in fact, I don't recommend it. Trying to do shit on your own also goes back to money wounding. It really does. It goes back to something that you've picked up, that doing it on your own means you're strong. Doing it on your own because other people aren't reliable. Other people will let you down. Other people aren't trustworthy. So it's safer to do it on your own. Maybe you grew up or you were married to or are surrounded by cheap people. And cheap people typically don't invest in help and don't invest in growth. They're very self-reliant because it's, a penny saved is a penny earned. This isn't going to get you where you want to go. And listen, if it's working for you and you feel flush with cash and flush with life and flush with options and flush with an excited, even though it's mixed with being terrified, but an excited, terrified energy, and you're electrified because you're going after something that you want to do. Whether that is you want to go into real estate, you want to be known as in the top 5% of realtors in the world, whether it's you want to start your own business, whether it's you want to take your coaching business to the millions, whether it's you want to create a line, some kind of a fashion line or a fitness brand line or something like that. Maybe that's what it is for you. You have to start by being willing and going for it, but willingness only goes so far. Willingness without action is a joke. Now you're joking yourself. You've got to take that action. You've got to have that accountability, and don't try to do the stuff alone. That's old wounding. And it will end up in you kind of spinning your wheels, wasting more time, and not getting anywhere. And then it becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy. See, it's not possible for me. See, it's not working for me. See, I'm not able to make the money I'm seeing other people make in my niche. See. But you're also not doing what those people are doing. And I can't attest to everybody online. A lot of them are full of shit. But I can attest for myself. I can attest for my clients. I can attest for people who I'm friends with in this online space. And I mean, we're in the peak season right now of making money online. And I don't care if you sell, I have a client who sells embroidery kits. I have a client who sells printable stickers on Etsy, makes 10 grand a month. I have a client who makes 800,000 a year with custom hair extensions. I have a client who works with people who've gone through a lot of trauma and helps them navigate their life so that they can have clarity and not be living with such anxiousness all the time. There's room for you in this space for anything possible, anything imaginable, including if you want to have an ASMR video line of crushing grapes with your feet. Thank you. There's OnlyFans. I have no judgment. You can do that too. I have a client who makes a small fortune on custom candles. There are limitless ways to use your skill set, your talents, your creativity, your passions, your hobbies, and to be able to monetize them. But in order to get out of your own way, you really can't do it alone. And I would say there's two places I want you to start. One, if you have not gotten my Summer Abundance Walk guided meditation series, I don't know what to do with you. I've made it free for you guys, and I will end up charging for it. So that link is also in the show notes when you swipe up, but it's projectmewithtiffany.com/summer abundance. Go do that. You don't have to walk. I've gotten quite a few DMs from people saying they're injured or they are physically challenged and they can't walk. And I said, thank you for saying that. I should have been more specific that you need to just be in movement. You can be in a bath and just be massaging your hands or your feet. You can be stretching as long as you're in some form of movement by doing this. But we just got some great DMs from people I want to share. Thank you for your podcast. I want so bad to get a better life and also be a businesswoman. I just downloaded your summer meditation. I love your voice. Thank you, Tiff. Thank you for the free access to you and your Purpose to Prosperity Summit. It's literally changing everything. And thank you for your guided walking meditations. I use all of them and have broken down crying many times during our walks. Love you, Tiff. You're an absolute inspiration and have helped me through a divorce. Ooh. You've helped me through a divorce from an abuser without losing my mind. Go download it and you'll see why. And it's designed to shift everything for you in minutes. And I've made it free. Now you want to go to another level? Join the damn posse. Join it. It's month to month. And if you're like, this isn't my cup of tea, which I would be shocked if it's not, then you're only in it for 1 month. And I'm giving you $50 off for Virgo season using the code SECRET50 at checkout. That link is also with all the amazing testimonials and results from the posse members. All that stuff is in the link in the show notes as well, so you can go get it. Now go leave me a 5-star written Apple Podcast and Spotify review, or you can do one or the other, whichever you listen on. For the love of God, for my birthday month, can you want to give me a birthday gift? Shout out the show, share the show with someone who you feel will love it, and go leave a damn written review. You can put your name or Instagram handle in the review, and I would love to be able to read your reviews live on the air and even send you something to say thank you for being such a loyal and appreciative listener. And if you want it to be anonymous, that's okay too. Just do the damn review. It'll take you 30 seconds. If you aren't sure how to do it, you can Google it and the step-by-step instructions come up immediately. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.